Fed Mahmoud, representing all the cast offs worldwide. You don't know what a cast off is. A cast off is being who you are, even when it's unpopular, when your thoughts and what you stand for is different in the crowd. You are a cast off. I appreciate everybody who taking the time to tune in. I'm sorry that I had to take that call. It was a very important call to help what I'm trying to get done go forward. And so I appreciate everybody who taking the time to tune back in. But once again, shout out to all the cast offs worldwide. And today I'm gonna talk about when we work together. And so if y'all are not familiar, I have started an organization, a ministry, an outreach, whatever you want to call it, a nonprofit called One Nation of Christ. And what we do is we help out other nonprofits with feeding the community. But the difference is we're not so much gonna do locations like meet here, because I understand a lot of kids who need book bags, haircuts, food, can't get to certain places. So when we come together as a team, we gonna be like, we need to be at this apartment complex, we need to be at this neighborhood, we need to be at this project building. And us as a team, we go there with the barbers, the hair braiders, the food, the book bags, and we go in the community and give it away. And while we give it away, we praying for the community and speaking to the neighborhood and stuff like that. And so that is one of the missions of what we're doing. Another thing, right now, I'm a basketball coach. We just lost in the championship, right? We just lost. But I don't think we lost because the kids barely could dribble when I got them, half of them. And for us to make it to the championship was a great thing. But it wasn't so much about basketball, man, because I don't call off work to go coach kids to win a basketball trophy. I don't stop my business and stuff like that to go coach some kids to win a trophy and say we won the championship. Nah, this is to teach these young boys about self-accountability, lead with love and respect, and having a good attitude, life morals that can help them be a better version of themselves when they adults. And a lot of times we be trying to argue with adults so much, like, man, look, you shouldn't see things from this way. And Frederick Douglass had this quote, man: it's easier to raise up a young child than repair a broken man. And a lot of times we talking to an adult who got their mind made up. They ain't trying to hear you. You could say facts and state things that could make a lot of sense, but you can't make sense to somebody who don't want to be made sense to. And so that's why I'm in these leagues coaching these young boys, so they won't go down the path me and my friends went through. So you don't have a billion dead homies and stab wounds and bullet wounds and all the stuff we go through to teach us how to be respectful men. It seems like we learn respect in jail, for real. And so we get these kids and teach them to lead with love and respect. I learned love and respect from a crackhead, bro. God bless his soul, man. My role model, my inspiration, my life coach was a guy who smoked crack, who went to jail for murder by the name of Jeff T. We used to be on Belmont arguing, fighting all the time. He said, bro, y'all don't have to like each other. Y'all don't have to agree with each other. Y'all don't have to hang with each other. But we do have to respect each other because we live amongst each other. And if you respect each other, man, we could live in peace and the world will be a way better place, for real. And I believe when you go in certain environments, you respect the rules and the protocol in that environment. If somebody says they don't like being called this, you respect that. And a lot of times we pick and choose who we want to respect. We treat somebody we afraid of because he a killer or he a heavyweight champion, and we respectful to him. And then we disrespect somebody we think weaker than us. And so as men, what we teaching these young boys, we lead with respect. We respect everything and everybody. You treat a homeless man with the same respect you would treat a billionaire. And so I believe we have to be at that level before we even start thinking about working together as a team. And so right now, that's what I'm in the process of, is coaching. And then my homeboy Dante, I just talked to him. He building a sports league in Toledo. I'm gonna build a sports league here, right? And so now we got the kids, we got the young boys in the gym. And so we gonna have coaches who teach them, lead with love and respect, be respectful, good attitude to take you way further in life than the good grade point average and stuff like that. Installing the principles. And then before they even start practice, We got the tutoring program set up. So when they bring home homework, I understand. I'm a single parent. Man, you ain't got time to be helping these kids. You done worked a 12-hour shift and you got 3 kids. And me personally, I need a tutor to tutor my son because I don't even know how to do his homework. I'm dead serious, man. Look, I wasn't no good student. He brought home this stuff. What's the conjunction and the pronoun? I don't even know what a noun or verb is. I'm dead serious. Man, I'm dead serious. I ain't know what a pronoun was, bro. I ain't know what action, none of that stuff. And so we got the tutoring program set up. Basketball and sports is gonna be a gateway drug to get these kids tutoring and teach them these values, y'all get what I'm saying, and these principles that can impact their life. And only reason I've taken the tutoring part so serious because I believe when you a man and you say, man, the school need to teach this or somebody need to do something at that moment, that's God telling you that's what you need to do. But weak weasels all the time come up with all these ideas and what somebody need to do, and they're reflected and shifted to somebody else and won't take a stand and get started in it. And then you will sit back and criticize what somebody else doing and you ain't did nothing. And so I always said, I believe good manners and communication should be taught in school, because one thing I learned, bro, I done had songs all on the radio. I done got millions of views, sold hundreds of thousands of CDs on the street, and nothing came out of it because I had a bad attitude. These labels and people want to sit down and talk to me, and I'm just like, this dude is a weirdo. For real. Like, this dude, like, I just didn't like him, and I came in with a bad aura and a bad attitude, and nobody wanted to deal with me. And so I understand what my bad attitude, it just set me back. I was a good basketball player, but couldn't go nowhere. I had a bad attitude. And so we teach these kids young, a good attitude will take you way further in life than your talent or a good grade point average, because nobody want to deal with somebody with a bad attitude. Our success is tied to people, and people who open up doors for us, and people who give us a platform and stuff like that. But nobody is gonna give you a platform or opportunity if you're not likable. For real. And sometimes we don't even know how to talk and communicate with each other. And so I believe communication and a good attitude and good manners should be taught in school. But instead of me, somebody need to do this, we applying this to the tutoring programs while we got the kids there for sports. And so that's what we're doing with the One Nation of Christ right now. Dante in Toledo, I'm in Atlanta. We're going to bring the kids back and forth. And so we're going to tie it together. That's one aspect of it. Another aspect of it is with the feeding the community. When school out, man, kids don't eat a lot of times in the neighborhood, for real. Or it's people hungry. We talking about other countries, and we got people hungry here. So that's why we feed our neighborhoods and feed our communities and give book bag giveaways and stuff like that. And so we need people to help give out food and help. And so that's another part of it. Another part is, like, in Toledo, my cousin, the police, she get into it just with a regular person on the streets. She didn't know he was an undercover police. I mean, she didn't know he wasn't even an undercover. He wasn't even undercover. Let me take my time. Let me tell the story right. So in Toledo, my little cousin and her daughter, a guy cut them off in traffic. And my cousin and her daughter got him out. They cussed him out. He cussed them out. He got his little ego bruise. He followed them home. They don't let him in. Do you know he came back 3 hours later? He was a cop, but he was off duty. So he got into an argument. He came and arrested my little cousin and gave my other cousin a ticket. And so that's why I went to Toledo and led the protest. And now the police is in court, because if you don't shine light to certain stuff like that, and I know a lot of y'all deep thinkers gonna sit back, oh, where the marching got out to, or you should do this, and your punk ass ain't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Now the police is going through court now, you know, but what I'm saying is now us as a unit, we can we can get together and be like, this is where we need to go. And we could be more organized with this stuff and won't have to scatter to bring people out. And so that's what I'm doing with the One Nation of Christ, for the rallies and the protests, and for the feeding in the neighborhood, and for the coaching and tutoring, and then praying for neighborhoods. I believe, I can't speak of what went on worldwide, but in my neighborhood, the south side of Toledo, Belmont Avenue, my neighborhood went down when the Jehovah Witnesses and the Nation of Islam and the Christians on the corner preaching left the neighborhood, because now you only got killers and robbers and drug dealers and pimps speaking, and now it ain't nobody who can combat that. My name, they called me prophet growing up. A lot of y'all, a Muslim gave me that name. Well, Endo did, and a Muslim gave me that name when I was a kid. And so we had that on the corner, like spiritual at the Jehovah Witnesses knocking on your door, even though we ran and ducked and wouldn't answer the door, but it was somebody praying over the neighborhood, and once they left, the morals and values left the neighborhood. It was always gang banging and drug slanging, but it was still kind of principles and morals and values and respect for real. And so that's what we gonna do. We gonna pray over these neighborhoods and stuff like that, and be that voice in these neighborhoods, right? And so that's what we doing with the One Nation of Christ, right? And I got 7 principles I know that changed my life for the better. Changed my life. It took me to lay on my deathbed, and a year later, after my deathbed, I lost the closest person in the world to me. How y'all see me with my son? That's how I had little Fred. Little Fred got killed, and me and him shared the same bed growing up. You know what I'm saying? And so I understood what that did to me. And but these 7 principles of the One Nation of Christ, if y'all not familiar, that I applied to my life to make me could live in peace. I'm 43 years old, and I think I look young because I don't stress or have anxiety over stuff. And I believe these principles keep me youthful, where I could run up and down with these kids coaching, and could my whole household got gunned down, I could still have a smile on my face, walking around with bullet wounds and stab wounds all in me with a smile on my face. And but I believe we could live like that if we put God first. When we put God first, and it's hard because we don't always put God first. I don't always put God first. Sometimes I know what's right and I still do wrong because that's what I want to do, you know, so I need work. But when I say put God first, that's doing what's right even when you don't feel like it. Even when you in Walmart and you be like, man, this shit high, I'ma just scan one, and you just know what's wrong. Like, that's God first, bro. When you be like, I ain't gonna do that, I don't want nobody stealing from me. It's putting God first when we go to Walmart and we unpack the cart and we go put the cart back. Like, I know I wouldn't want to go walking around looking for all this stuff. So you put the cart. That's how you put God first, doing what's right even when you don't feel like it. And another way we put God first is walking in our God-given purpose, bro. Walking in our God-given purpose. If you've been shot, if you sold dope, if you've been in jail, if you've been raped, if you've been through anything, neglect, whatever you've been through, right? And you understand it happened to me. It didn't happen to me, it happened for me. And the reason it happened for me, so I can get experience, so I can gain wisdom for this, and not just to keep it all to myself, because somebody else gonna go through this exact same thing. And so now I could teach these kids. Now I could teach this next person going through that because I lived it. Messengers are raised and not sent. You know, messengers are raised and not sent. And what I mean by that is, when you from it give you pain, because what bring pain in your heart is what God has qualified to heal, and you can't heal what you don't feel. And so when you go through it, you feel the pain of other people who going through it, and they can relate to you. And so if I played basketball, my career didn't go the way I wanted to go, now I could coach these kids and tell them the mistakes I made or what I should have worked on, and you can help a kid get further. If you sold drugs, went to jail, come out broke, messed up all your money, this might sound crazy, but the next drug dealers, if they ain't gonna stop, you could be like, look, put your money in real estate here, save this, do this, like that, like whatever you went through, and you understand it didn't happen to me, it happened for me, but I'm gonna be a blessing to other people. That's how we put God first. That's how we put God first. And that's how we walk in our God-given purpose. Not wasting our troubles, not wasting our trials and tribulations. That's how we put God first. And the second thing is doing to others as you want done to you. I don't care what religion you is, what faith you is. The golden rule to any faith is doing on to others as you want done to you. Treating people the way you want to be treated. Lead with love and respect. Lead with love and respect, and understand everything I do is a seed and it's gonna come back, so I'm gonna treat you fair. And the third one, we reap everything we sow. Every word we speak, every action we do, every thought is a seed, and it will grow a harvest in our life. And the fourth is self-accountability. The moment we blame anyone else for where we at in life, we can't make any correction because we gave them all the power. The fifth one is we are here to serve. Jesus washed his disciples' feet to let them know we are here to serve. That's why we feed the community and coaching these kids and doing all that. We take our experiences and we serve other people. 6, walk in faith. Take a step in faith. The biggest hater in the world is somebody who had a lot of talent, but then take a step. Somebody else took a step, less talent, and he sit back like, man, they stole my idea. Or, man, that should be me. No, you sit back overthinking, waiting for approval of people, wait for the right amount of money, and somebody took a step in faith and got started. I'd rather make a million mistakes and learn from them and keep going and end up being great than somebody who sit back and never even got started. That's why we take a step in faith. And the 7th principle of the One Nation of Christ ministry, and this is the thing I'm going to talk about today, is unity. Unity, unity, unity. Teamwork make the dream work. We cannot be the best version of ourselves trying to do this thing called life alone. Life is a team sport, right? And a lot of times, instead of completing each other, we compete with each other. I was listening to this sermon from this pastor, and he was saying ducks or geese, whatever it was, they fly in a circle and they could fly miles and miles to different cities and different states. And we taught up north, the birds fly to the south in the winter. And they can do that because they fly in formation. Because if that bird flew by itself, he gonna use 70% more energy. When they fly in formation, they use 70% less energy than they would do flying alone. And that's like us. We have a weakness in something and a strength in something. Somebody else will have a weakness and a strength. Instead of you taking your weakness, and your weakness might be my strength, and my weakness might be your strength. Instead of us coming together and completing each other, what we do, I try to do everything alone. I don't need nobody. You don't need nobody. And now we don't win, bro. And so I believe even with the nonprofit work I do, I work with about 8, 9 nonprofits, right? Do you know a lot of them people won't even work together? They so busy about their name being on the flyer or not showing up and stuff, but act like, yeah, we was there and we in the community. It ain't even about that, bro. If you work with them people, that's even more food that you could be. Forget if your name wasn't on it. Forget if your name wasn't on it. We trying to be a blessing. Is it about you and your recognition, your selfishness, your weak weasel insecurities, or is it about being a blessing? And so even if like you got a tutoring program, he have a food program, he have book bags, they have a hair braiding program. Instead of coming together and could reach more people with one event, we want to do everything on our own, bro. And that's like, goodness gracious, man. And these ain't nothing like, these ain't people like, these is educated people who act like this. Teamwork, man. Teamwork. For real. Teamwork. If we work together, we could do a lot further. And so I gotta go. I ain't gonna hold y'all up here all day. I know it's a Saturday, but anybody who wanna be a part of the One Nation of Christ ministry, I don't care what city you in. If you wanna be a part of feeding the neighborhoods, if you want to be a part of getting these kids haircuts and hair braided back to school, book bags given away, if you want to be a part of these sports leagues, coaching these kids and tutoring these kids, if you want to be a part of the protest from police brutality or niggas then drove through neighborhood, shot up kids, man, and you want to get in this neighborhood and protest and shine light on these terrible situations, or like the lady get gunned down in her apartment in the name of Jesus by a police officer. If you want to be a part of the rallies and the protests, if you need somebody to minister to you, if you need prayer, we setting everything up. Please inbox me. And we building from the ground up right now. I can't do it alone. I'm drained, bro. I just left coaching a basketball league. Then I had to go feed these people in this area. Another person called me to speak, and then I got to double back and see if they gonna organize a rally in Atlanta. And so I don't want to do it. I can't do it on my own. And so we could do a lot more if we came together. I don't care where you at. You could be in Africa, you could be in New York, you could be in Jamaica, you could be in wherever. Man, we need to sit and and see how we can make each other lives better. And if you need help organizing in your city, I'll come to your city for that, and we could bring people and organize and send resources, whatever. But man, we need to come together as a team. And then it ain't, a lot of y'all be like, man, that's helping other people, but trust me, when you walk in your purpose and help other people, it will bring a peace to your life. We don't have peace because we're selfish. We think about, oh man, he cheated on me. Oh man, she cheated on me. Oh man, I'm broke. Oh, I feel this way. I can't sleep. It's I. And then we look at something little and we keep dwelling on it and focus on it, and we make it bigger than it actually is. And then we can't go to sleep. We stress. We don't know what we doing with our life. And that's because we not filling our spirit up. We not filling our spirit up. And with this organization, we gonna fill your spirit. And then we gonna pour out into people. And that's how you could live fulfilled. And I guarantee you, when you serving and doing your God-given purpose, you won't be stressed over little things. I don't want to die with a whole bunch of regrets. I don't want to go to my deathbed unfulfilled. Man, Dr. King said, I can die because I know I did what God put me here to do. I have nothing left. I have served. And that man, even though he died violently, he wasn't afraid. He died peacefully. And that's how I want to go out. And I'm sure that's how all of us want to go out. Not afraid, not like, oh my God, what did I do with my life? Because I done laid on my deathbed, and me dying at that time, I know for a fact I wasn't dying fulfilled. And so please join us. Inbox me. Inbox me at One Nation. Forget that. Just inbox me on the page y'all see me on right now if y'all want to be a part of what we doing. I appreciate everybody who took out the time to tune in. And so it's a lot of stuff we need. We need basketball coaches. We need people who want to feed people. We need organizers. We need street ministry people. We need everything. And so, man, make sure y'all inbox me. I appreciate everybody who took out the time to tune in. One love. Hey, inbox me. I appreciate everybody. I'm out.